My name is Gili. I'm a front-end developer in the Inbox team in the CRM company. And the name of this talk is Testy, or how not to get annoyed by tests. The definition of the word testy is easily annoyed, impatient, or somewhat bad-tempered. That was me when I wrote tests. When I came to Wix about a year ago, I already had a few years of experience, but I knew almost nothing about testing. To be honest, I used to hate tests, and I thought it's a complete waste of time. Today, I'll talk about some of the main reasons why and what we can do to avoid them. The top two problems are messy tests and flaky tests. Why is this important? First, we have much more test code than production code. Second, tests live much longer than production. Let's say you want to refactor your code because you changed the technology. The tests that check the behavior of your code will stay essentially the same. And third, tests are the best documentation of the code. We keep reviewing them each time we have an issue or we want to understand how a feature works. Because we don't have a lot of time, let's dive right into the first part, messy tests. A test can get messy in many ways. An unclear title, lack of structure, repetitive code, and so on. Regarding the title, make sure not to write something vague, such as should show empty state. Instead, include what is being tested, under what circumstances, and what we expect. This will make it easier to understand what went wrong in case of a failure and save time debugging. Now let's talk about the test itself. This is a mess. It's a mix of declarations and assertions without any structure. If not organized clearly and according to rigid methods, a test can feel like reading a book in a foreign language. I recommend using a popular structure called AAA. Arrange, act, assert. Now let's organize the previous test using this structure. This test checks that a menu is visible after a click. Arrange, we arrange our given precondition. So at first we make sure that the menu is not visible. Act, the action of the test, clicking the button. Assert, the assertion and expectations. Here we assert that the menu is visible after we click the button. On top of that, let's add drivers. This substantially cleans up the test. Drivers help us to write better tests, focusing on the what instead of the how. They hide implementation details, giving us an abstract layer that separates the test from the underlying framework, making it easier to maintain. The second and most painful issue is flaky tests. Removing flaky tests from your application is critical because they cause you to lose faith in the build. You end up not wanting to run it at all or investigating irrelevant issues. Flaky tests have many mysterious causes. Let's say you want to search a test to test a search component that uses the bounce. The test might look something like this, and the highlighted line shows that we wait for the existing debounce time. This is a flaky test. Sometimes it passes and sometimes it fails. Let's take a closer look. Extending the delay time is not a good solution because we don't know the exact time and we'll extend the build time for nothing. However, replacing the timers with fake timers will make the test deterministic. Another flaky test pitfall is the use of random generators. On the one hand, it can make the test really strong and you can read some good edge cases. And actually, this could be a topic for a whole other talk. But in my opinion, it's bad practice because it's highly increased the chance for flakiness. Instead, if you know that something is going to fail, just create a separate case for it. So let's summarize. Write informative titles, organize your test clearly, use drivers, use fake timers and randomize with cautions. That's it. Treat your tests with respect. It's good for testy colleagues like me and good for the future you also. Thank you.